The Diary of Anne Frank test. Question number 1. Why does Meep urge Mr. Frank to stay in Amsterdam? She said, "This is your home, your business, and you are needed here." Anne made one last wish in her diary before she died. If he leaves, he may be sent to jail. Question number 2. On what date does Anne begin her diary? Wednesday, the 8th of August, 1944, Monday, the 16th of July, 1942, or Thursday, the 2nd of October, 1956. Question number 3. Which example shows 5 rules everyone must follow for complete quiet? From 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., no noise, no trash can be thrown out, burn all the trash, no one go outside, and no water. No showers, never use the WC, never run water, never wear shoes, and do not answer the phone. No WC, no showers. Go outside after 6 p.m. Do not wear shoes and do not burn trash. Question number 4. What statement illustrates how Anne felt about the Star of David? Tear it off and throw it away. Burn it since it brands you. Or cherish since it is her religious symbol. Question number 5. Which statement illustrates how Peter feels about the Star of David? Burn it since it brands you, thoughtful since it is his culture, or unsure since he is Jewish. Question number 6. In Act 1, Scene 3, how does Mrs. Van Daan embarrass Peter? Tells stories about him as a baby, opens the door to the WC, calls Anne his girlfriend. Question number 7. What were Anne's plans for the future? She wanted to be an actress or singer. She wanted to be a dentist like Mr. Dussel, or she wanted to teach kids in school. Question number 8. In Act 1, Scene 3, what bad news does Mr. Dussel bring? Meep can no longer get cigarettes and cognac. The ration books are scarce, so they need to cut back on food. Hundreds of Jews disappear. Children come home and their parents are gone, and the Jews are being deported. Question number 9. In Act 2, Scene 1, which statement has at least 2 changes Anne reports in her diary? The WC is broken and Meep is missing. Anne is thinner and fighting with her mom. Peter does not care for her, and her mom is mad at her. Question number 10. What do we learn about Mrs. Van Daan with the incident involving the cake Meep brought? Meep brought the cake to celebrate Mrs. Van Daan's birthday. Mrs. Van Daan does not divide things up evenly since she always gives Mr. Van Daan more. Or Mrs. Van Daan is allergic to quick cake. Question number 11. Why does Peter sympathize with his mother in the argument between his parents in selling her fur coat? He wants to respect his mother and her wishes. His father told him to always feel bad for your mother. He understands since her coat symbolizes something from the past, like his cat Mushi that is now gone. Question number 12. Why is Mr. Crawler concerned about the workman who asked for the raise? He is afraid he will quit. He thinks the workman knows he is hiding something behind the bookcase. He does not have the money to pay him. Question number 13. Why does Peter admire the way Anne talks to adults? Anne knows how to pronounce everyone's name. Anne is so polite when talking to adults. Anne speaks her mind no matter what. Act 2. Question number 14. What changes does Anne mention in her diary regarding life in the annex? Her life is boring, listening to the same stories about the Jews in hiding. The WC is broken and she cannot find her diary. She is now fighting with Margot every day. Question number 15. Peter would have rather lived in blank with his cat in the attic. Seclusion, dignity, chronicle, or ghetto. Question number 16. Why doesn't Mr. Frank want to answer the telephone that continues to ring? He cannot find the phone in the warehouse. He does not anyone to know in the building the building has people in it. Mrs. Frank does not allow him to answer the phone. Question number 17. Why does Mr. Dussel want Mr. Frank to answer the phone that keeps ringing? He thinks it is his wife calling. He thinks the Allies are there to save them, or he thinks Meep is calling to warn of danger. Question number 18. The families living in the annex think rats are stealing the food. What is really happening with the food disappearing? Mr. Van Daan has been sneaking the food. Mushi was the one taking the food, or Anne was hiding the food while playing a trick on Peter. Question number 19. Mr. Frank says they are destroying each other. What do you think he means? Humanity does not need guns to hurt one another, since their fear and suspicions are causing them to hate one another. They are hurting one another with the little fights they get into each week, and they are calling each other mean names all day. Question number 20. In her diary entry for July 2nd, 1944, Anne reports 3 bits of news that put everyone in low spirits. What are they? Meep cannot come anymore. Margot is in constant pain, and Peter will no longer talk to Anne. Mr. Frank is sick. Peter is mad about Anne, and Mrs. Frank can't stop crying. The invasion is halted. Mr. Crawler needs an operation, and the Gestapo found the stolen radio from the warehouse. Question number 21. How is Anne able to blank her blank and hope with this suffering? Candor, seclusion, preserve, dignity, ghetto, dignity. Question number 22. In Anne's conversation with Peter, what are the three main ideas? Peter is mad at Anne. Peter cannot live there anymore. Peter is alone. Have a belief in something. People are good at heart, and everyone is a part of the larger plan. Everyone has a good side. The world is evil, and no one helps you in life. Question number 23. Mr. Frank says, for the past 2 years, we have lived in fear. Now we can live in hope. What hopes remain? They hope to be alive. They hope to find a common ground and not fight, and they hope to get their jobs back. Number 24. Why does Anne not take her diary with her when she leaves the annex? She can only take clothes in her satchel, nothing else. She wants to leave it for the world to read because she wants to be famous. She forgot to grab it. Question number 25. What is the time setting for scene 5? July 1944 in the warehouse. September 1956 in Mr. Frank's new house. November 1945 in the same rooms at the beginning of the play. Number 26. Why was Miep not captured or arrested when the Nazis arrived at the annex? She had gone to the country to get food. They let her go since she was not German. She was hiding and no one found her. Question number 27. What reasons does Mr. Frank give for saying that Anne was happy in the concentration camp that they were first taken to in Holland? She was in the sunshine and fresh air. She was with her family again. She got to see her friends again. Question number 28. Where was Mr. Frank and the other men captured in the annex sent in September of 1944? Sent to work in mines in Germany, shipped to Poland in a camp separate from the women, or shipped to Germany to work on the cornfield? Question number 29. Where were the women Anne and Margot sent? A concentration camp in Holland, a train in Germany, a field in Poland. Question number 30. What happened to Mrs. Frank and Margot? They died, they moved into a house together, or they both went missing?